Hey everybody, and welcome back to another RCT2 review. We continue our look through the head-to-head 9 matches. We are on round 2, match 2. This is the Tile Inspectors versus Logan's Run, which is my team. We're going to do this one a little bit differently because the park that the Tile Inspectors played against was one that I helped build. So Mavericks and I are going to do a little bit of an inside look as a separate video. So I'm going to review this one here as a solo park individually, and we'll have another video for the park that Logan's Run built. So this park is the 7 Liberal Arts, and this was built by Tulsimir at 65% of the total, Sulake at 25%, and Rob DD at 10%. In the end, these guys lost out to our park, although not by much. I think the score belies a little bit of the makes it look like there was a bigger gap than there was. I think the quality here is pretty good, and we'll see all this as we dive into it. One of the things you'll see here is a lot of new objects and some pretty cool and useful ones. So this is a sort of Greek-ish theme. Obviously to the 7 liberal arts, so we have all sorts of things like music here and all different things that we'll see as we go along. But let's start down here in the port. One of the first things we see is a custom swinging ship, which is very cool. That Greek trimine themed ship also on the diagonal, which is cool. This is funny because we also did a custom swinging ship in ours, so we've got two new custom rides for everyone to use. Really loving this ship here in the process of the ribbing getting built on the sides. Lots of new objects, like I said, so you can see these canopy type objects stretched along here. These are going to be very useful, replacing some of the other kind of more antiquated uses of that, I guess. Also, new custom sign with the Greek lettering. Very nice as far as that goes. Loving the ship, again on the diagonal. Pretty darn cool. Same with kind of these other ships, sort of similar to what we've seen before, but lots of nice little details on it. Another custom ride, I say ride with quotes, is these tents. So all of these different ones, there's a couple of different options, a couple different color varieties, really add that Market Bazaar feeling to the park. We're going to see these a lot more in subsequent head-to-head parks. It's always kind of fun for me, when you see these new objects come in earlier parks, how quickly they get adopted for other parks. And two, you'll see kind of the overall landscaping here. You've got these real small rock pieces using the same textures as the larger quarter tile 1K rock pieces, but in a much smaller variety. Gives it a little more, I guess, detail as you go up. There's certainly some skill into putting these together right. In some cases, I think it becomes a little bit much, but I can't fault it. I think it's very nice. So anyway, we come over here to the school as we get up to this main island. So there's a number of different things. So like down here, we've got the Study of the Greats, this kind of carousel-esque ride up underneath. I don't know if you can see that here, underneath the domes. A lot of good use of curves here using the Colosseum pieces. I think that's very well done. You head up the stairs to the coaster station. We might as well look at the coaster since that is sort of the big thing here. So this is called the Doubt, which runs through all of the various areas here. Kind of a neat blend of, some realistic elements and nice supports and things like that, with this sort of fantasy-esque layout where we're just really diving around and looking at a bunch of different things. It's a long ride. There's a lot to it. I like some parts of it. Some parts are maybe a little bit much for me, but my realistic tendencies. So anyway, let's catch this one here as it goes out and about. I do love the way that this wraps the tower here. Starts that chain lift on the corner as it comes up. Some diagonal buildings here, which is always nice to see. And the larger cherry tree option. I don't know if that existed before. It may have. Anyway, here we dive off over top of the harp and down and around into our elements here. Now, one thing to see here, as I'll point out, is this piece of track here. This is a smooth hill merge, so this is a custom piece of track. If you watch the train here, you'll see it doesn't quite hold to the track itself, but visually it's a much smoother hill. I feel like in this case it's kind of unnecessary. It's almost like off to its own, doing its own thing, but it's a really cool innovation, I suppose. Would love to see more of that, in lieu of getting the actual track pieces. That could be a pretty neat option, although we may not be too far away from those track pieces just based on where we are with the beta for some of the new saves. But anyway, here we have this nice launch at the end under the Coliseum to get us up and over into the back here. So we have a cutaway view here, 18.5 and 51. Let's take a look at that real quick. All right. A little too far down. Heck. Actually, not quite sure what we're looking for here. The logic solving the paradox of our invisible miniature golf here, or the person who's not there. You like that? That's clever. All right, let's go back up and take a look at what there is to see. So in the harp, we've got the vehicle here that's playing it, some musica, finding the harmonics. And then further up, we've got this abacus here with the log flume cars. Clever idea. I think that's neat. I believe some of them are rideable too, which I think is even funnier. Let's get rid of those. Let's see. We have this great little circular structure here. A couple of these half diagonals, which we're going to see plenty more of here soon. Down here, I love this, the Pythagorean theorem here with our different squares in the triangle. That's really clever. Also using as seating areas. Up top here we have prove the theorems. All of our square inscribed in our octagon and the various other elements here as well. So way up top here we've got the study of the planets all wrapping around up top. If you go out this way you can kind of see it better here with the with everything. So this is the viewing space of those. And then at the very top, we've got our kind of main hall here. A couple cool things for this. First of all, the archway on the diagonal, new pieces, very cool. Glitches a little bit, but not totally awful. But it's a pretty neat look. Another cool feature here is the statues, these dome statues, similar thing to the tent structures that we saw earlier down at the bottom. Basically using a ride to create scenery, which in the comments topic for this match kind of set off a number of people who weren't necessarily the biggest fans of that. I think it's a cool idea, definitely using your resources very well, and honestly I can't complain about it. Here's more of that diagonal archwork, loving that. Pretty cool way to do it. There's just a lot of new experimentation, with those half diagonals, with these using rides as scenery. Lots of cool things. I mean, it's kind of in lieu of having the tools to do it, properly. I should say that, air quotes again. This is a nice way to do those sorts of things. So I'm a fan. I think it's done well. Open here to this side too. We can see the nice tile work in here and everything else as well. Here we have our little turtle here. Xenon's paradox past the turtle. Again, seeing the very nice awnings and everything else as they do. Lots of nice stuff in this one. Definitely a little bit heavy on the rock work, perhaps. Although I guess I don't know how you transition in and out of this, so you kind of have to almost go all in when you go this way, which could be a bit of a challenge. But lots of good details. I mean, like these catch nets here, the fishing nets with the little ship. just lots of good stuff to see throughout. Lots of new objects. I think what I take away from this park, as we look here at the smashed ships. Oh, Logan and Steve, sad times, caught between the rocks. But I think the legacy of this park is going to be all the various custom pieces and custom objects. I do think there's going to be a lot of really cool uses of all of these, and just the general just driving the game forward sort of aspect. So good to see all that, and definitely a well fought match and a good park. That they ought to be proud of for finishing. So congratulations to Tile Inspectors for this map. Like I said, we will review Logan's Runs Park here as a separate video. Mavericks and I are going to get together and do a quick little inside look on it, which we'll post here just after this one. So until next time, we will catch you in the next one. Thank you very much for watching, and have a good day. Bye now.